So just let people know that you've spoken to the player.
Yeah.
You've made an offer, and leave it at that.
I agree.
Don't say it's down to us and them, because it's always them.
Yeah.
Never the bride, always the bridesmaid.
It's true.
This is the 10 Minutes with Andrew podcast.
Welcome back to 10 Minutes with Andrew. I'm, of course, Andrew. We're getting joined with that Mark Chansey. How you doing today?
Well, that was a little more satisfying than usual.
It was.
It's nice when your team goes down, comes back and wins the game.
Yep.
It's also nice when your team blows out the other team.
It does.
But it's especially nice when they do both in the same game.
Yeah.
And it's especially nice when they do it against the Canadians.
Especially nice, yeah.
Thank you, Toronto. You saved me a lot of ridicule.
Yeah, it was 3-0 after the first period.
Well, the Leafs have not played well, as I've said, for the last several weeks. And again, didn't show up to start the game on time and were dominated in the first. And if it weren't for Joseph Woll,
yeah,
and people still call him Wall, they would have been down 6-0.
It would have been. And actually, Hayes of Overdrive tweeted that last night during the game. He was like, the Leafs are lucky it's not 6-0 right now.
But you know what? If they were down 6-0, they would have won 7-6.
They still would have won, yeah.
That's fine with us.
That's fine.
That's Samuel Montembeault.
Montembeault.
He's on the Canadian Four Nations
Four
team.
Nations face-off team, yeah.
I think our goaltending is going to be a little weak.
Yeah.
In that,
him and Stuart Skinner, I do believe.
Tournament. No, it's
not Skinner. Okay.
Jordan Binnington,
Binnington's not
Aiden
bad.
Hill, and Samuel Montembeault.
Not bad.
Well, long as Montembeault doesn't play, we should be okay. Because he has
But
not
he's
had
doing pretty well recently.
He has not had a good run lately.
Oh, well.
And the Canadians,
Which is
who
two
are the
different
hottest team in the league, forgot that there's a second period followed by a third period last night.
They did.
Just game was over after one. They were celebrating goals like they won the Stanley Cup, and then decided, oh, I don't want to play anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
You may notice. You may notice.
I may notice?
Yeah.
What might I notice?
Well, they may notice. The people may notice.
Oh, yeah. What are we doing today, my son?
We are
Yeah?
reading tweets.
Reading some tweets, you say? Okay. That leads me to another question. What would said topic be for said tweets?
The Toronto Blue Jays.
I had a feeling we would talk about them. That's why I've chosen my black, black outfit.
He's got a sore throat.
I'm a little under the weather
Yeah,
today.
he got a sore throat.
My black outfit for mourning.
Yeah, it's true.
I am in mourning with the Toronto Blue Jays.
I got the podcast.
Lost yet another potential free agent / international
Roki
signing.
Sasaki.
Didn't happen.
Didn't happen. He
But
went
they were rumored to be going to the Blue Jays.
to a different team, well, as every other free agent in history. Yeah, so he went to, surprise, surprise, the Dodgers. And
Doesn't everybody go to the Dodgers?
yeah, this leads me into my sort of Sid Seixeiro. I don't want to call it a rant, but Sid Seixeiro type.
You have a rant?
Yeah, kind of.
You upset?
Yeah, I kind of am.
What are you upset about?
The Dodgers.
The Dodgers.
I'm getting pretty sick of this Dodgers team. I got to be honest. Like I
In what way?
because dynasties happen in baseball all the time. It's not about the talent they have on the team. Like the Yankees had it for years with Jeter and A-Rod and everybody. It's about the fact that they pay all these guys just millions of dollars. They can defer it. That's the problem. They can't be deferred. Like the MLB needs to have. It's never going to happen because the players aren't going to agree to it. But there needs to be some kind of, salary cap in structure in the MLB because, like every big free agent ever, it's Dodgers or Yankees, and the Dodgers just. It's not fair to all the other teams. It's just not.
There is a salary cap.
But it's a luxury tax. It's not the same
But
thing.
if you go over it, you pay a luxury tax.
And it's fun. But some teams can't do that.
And the
other teams can.
That's true. The
And
big
that's-
market teams like the Yankees and the Dodgers, they just pay the luxury tax.
That's just, somebody needs to put a salary cap in there because the Dodgers have been paying these guys and deferring it all so they don't get in trouble with it. And it's like it's happened with Ohtani, happened with I think Yamamoto. They signed Tasker to a 1-year deal and that was deferred.
Yeah, the deferring doesn't make a whole lot of difference. Any team can do that too, but
Yeah.
you still gotta pay it at some point.
But someone needs to stop the Dodgers here because this is getting out of hand.
Well, that would be a collective bargaining issue.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
The league and the union would have to agree to a hard cap, and I don't know that
the players would.
the owners of the Dodgers and Yankees and Mets would not want that,
Yeah.
and the players would definitely not want that.
I don't like the idea. Like every time there's a big free agent, it's not even a question. It's either Dodgers or Yankees, and it's getting ridiculous at this point.
Well, I'll tell you a little example. Give you an example now.
Now Soto didn't, but he went to the Mets. He might as well have.
In the NHL, before the hard cap came in, your favorite team, the Toronto Blue Jays, Maple Leafs, sorry, the Montreal Canadiens,
Yeah.
when it came to trade deadline time, they built their team. And they went out and they bought everybody they wanted.
That's not a good strategy.
Well, that's how it was because there was no cap.
Yeah.
So you would see massive moves, usually Toronto and Montreal loading up because they had unlimited amounts of money.
Yeah.
And still do. That was before the cap.
Yeah.
So Toronto used to do it in the NHL.
They did.
Yeah. But you're still mad at the Dodgers.
I just don't like the Dodgers at this point,
It's getting a little ridiculous
getting
for
ridiculous.
the average baseball fan, especially if you're a fan of the Brewers
Yeah.
or the White Sox,
Yeah.
right? How do you compete?
Yeah, you can't.
So there's going to have to be a leveling of the playing field, but it's going to be a hard thing to do because
the Dodgers,
the players don't want to be capped in how much they can make.
they really don't. And the Dodgers, the Dodgers are set up now to win like the next 10 World Series. It's just like the way they've been
They
built.
haven't won it yet.
Well, they won last year.
They did win last year, but I can tell you, how many times have the Yankees won the World Series in the last 20 years? How many times have the Dodgers won the World Series in the last 20 years?
Twice.
So they're spending an awful lot of money
Yeah,
for very little return,
that's true.
right? Just
Yeah.
because you're loading up doesn't mean everybody's going to play well at the right time and get along. Speaking of getting along, JT Miller and
Yeah.
Pedersen not getting along.
I saw yesterday, Elliot Freeman was saying that Miller was taken out of the lineup because he was going to go, like there was a trade that was making, like they were going to finalize for him to go to the Rangers. So he wasn't going to play the game last night.
But he had 2 assists.
But then they put him in the lineup because the trade didn't happen. They decided to back off of the trade. So,
He had 2 assists.
yeah.
So here's a question that was asked last night on the Dangle live stream.
Yep.
If Morgan Riley waived his no trade and wanted to go to Vancouver, would you trade him for JT Miller?
I don't think you would because I don't think you like JT Miller.
I didn't ask me.
But, I mean, I know he hasn't playing well, but I mean Riley's the best defenseman we kind of have, and I don't know if I want to get rid of him really.
Okay, that's just a question that was asked.
But I thought you didn't like JT Miller.
I didn't ask the question. It was
That's
a question
true.
that was
That's
asked.
true.
I didn't answer the question
true.
either. I don't know if I would do it because, well, we need defensemen,
We do.
so we'd lose one, and we need centers,
Yeah,
and
he's not a center.
he's a winger, I believe.
Yeah, he's a winger.
Yeah, so that doesn't really help us much there. But anyway,
Pedersen, maybe he's a center. That's a lot of money though.
well, I wasn't talking money, but Leafs win against the Canadians. So
7-3.
That makes me extremely happy this morning.
Joseph Fall kind of saved them in the early stages.
He made some incredible saves. Not even in the first period. He made some there. I think Cole Caulfield had 11 or 12 shots alone. He had 1/3 of the Canadian shots were all from Caulfield.
I don't know. And
And Wall played outside of himself last night.
It's kind of it's we've talked about it a lot. Like the pattern of the Leafs recently is they chase the lead all the time. And
Always.
and they did last night. They were down, and then they came back.
And defensively, I don't know what's going on, but they always have an easy out of their zone, and they don't get it out, and it leads to these
yeah,
monstrous scoring chances, and they're leaning too hard on their goalies, and they got to clean that up
we
quick.
talked about last week the lack of effort they have, and Berube said, we need more life and energy. That's true.
They need to start the game with energy,
Yeah,
right? And keep it going for 60 minutes, like the Canadians didn't last night.
yeah,
Toronto played Dallas last week. For the first 7 minutes of the game, I thought, wow, this is a Stanley Cup contending team right
Yeah.
here. And then for the last 53 minutes,
gone. Yeah,
lost.
lost.
Didn't show up. They got to start.
What about the New Jersey game they just won? Like, were they? I mean, they.
It was that was kind of a boring game.
Yeah.
They won though.
They did win Nylander with the OT winner.
Yeah, they were chasing that one the whole game too.
They were.
Right.
Sheldon Keefe's New Jersey Devils. Came back to Toronto.
They were chasing that one. Anyway, we got to get going here.
We do.
We're reading some tweets about the Toronto Blue Jays.
This comes from an article from The Score.
Is this from the Sasaki miss?
Yeah, so Sasaki, they actually traded for a player, the Blue Jays. They got a player.
They got Miles Straw.
We'll talk about that later. Just don't say it. Hold your thoughts.
Okay.
That was to free up international bonus pool money for...
to sign Sasaki.
Roki Sasaki. But
let me just say something.
Okay.
This is January 19th.
19th.
Pitchers and catchers report in about a month's time.
Yeah.
What team do we have? We haven't done
I
anything.
don't know what we're going to do.
We have nothing done.
Well, speaking of which, Sportsnet made an article yesterday. The Blue Jays are discussing a deal with Anthony Santander.
Still.
They're in negotiations with him.
I can tell you that in podcast before Christmas, we brought that up.
We did. And apparently they made an offer to Bregman. I don't know what's going on there. I don't know what's happening.
They might as well just both sign with the Dodgers and we'll move on.
Yeah, there we go.
But this is now a month away from spring training starting, and the Blue Jays have a worse roster than they finished the season with.
And by the way, some of the people, like...
I don't get it.
Somebody found a picture yesterday that Anthony Santander posted of him wearing Raptor shorts. They're like, he must be coming to Toronto. He's wearing a Toronto team shorts. It's like, come on.
Well, again, that's the problem with social media.
Get out of here.
And I think some people...
Get out of here.
And not saying Santander's doing it, but sometimes they kind of put that out there just to get people excited.
Yeah.
Cause a stir, get a few likes.
Well, all these tweets came from an article from The Score. And the article was called "Social Media Reacts to Blue Jays Missing Out on Sasaki."
Yep.
And I have 5 of them.
Okay. Let's go with number 1.
Let's go number 1. Drum roll.
Drum roll? Okay,
Yeah.
I can do a drum roll. Watch.
There we go. Honestly, the Jays could hoist a finalist for Ohtani, Soto, Burns, and Sasaki banner, and it would still be less embarrassing than the one they put up for making the wild card round as a 7 seed in a 60-game season.
Yeah, I saw that one. That was good.
That's good.
I like that one. Let's give that the old. I like that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
So they do actually have a wild card banner up for the COVID shortened season.
They should put up
where they
Rogers
allowed
Center.
extra teams into the playoffs.
Put it in the Rogers Center. Finalists for everybody.
Yep. That wouldn't be as bad.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
Comes in second place all the time.
But I don't even know how close they even are to these things.
No.
Right?
No.
I think Sasaki knew long time ago he wanted to go to the Dodgers.
Probably.
And follow Shohei.
Probably. Because they played together.
Yamamoto.
In Japan.
Yeah. So that was number 1.
Number 1.
You want number 2?
Number 2.
Number 2 of Let's Read Some Tweets. Blue Jays edition.
Outside of money, there wasn't really a single thing in the Blue Jays' favor when it came to signing Roki Sasaki. And if one thing was very clear, was that money was not a big motivating factor for him, considering he left millions on the table to post early in the first place.
He knew he was going to the Dodgers.
Yeah, apparently, like I saw earlier today, the Padres had made like their max bonus for him was going to be like $10 million, and he went to the Dodgers, and his bonus there is $6.5 million. So it wasn't about money.
He had the Dodgers on his list, and I think you used the Padres and you used the Blue Jays during the whole process to raise
Probably
what the Dodgers give you.
Probably.
That's all that we're being used.
Same with Ohtani. Like, he used the Blue Jays.
We're always the bridesmaid, never the bride.
Yeah. Now, what part of this do you think it is because of our GM and no one wants to play for him? Or because of our management team or whatever, like our team on the field? Manager.
I don't know. It's not directly that it's Ross Atkins and I don't like him.
Yeah.
It's look at the mess they're in.
Yeah.
Right? And maybe they look and say, boy, they don't seem to be treating Vladdy very well.
No, they really don't.
How are they going to treat me very well?
Yeah.
But there's no upside to the Blue Jays right now.
None.
Like, this team a few years ago was chosen to be the next Houston Astros without the cheating.
Yeah.
They were going to have years of competitive into playoffs and World Series threats.
Yeah.
And nothing.
And
the window, it's closing.
It all started with the George Springer thing. That's what kind of boosted it.
Well, it all started with Bo and Vladdy.
Yeah.
And that was supposed to be the dream team.
Yeah.
The dynamic duo. Hasn't worked out, and if you're a free agent going,
And-
I got to go somewhere where I can win a World Series. Can I win it in Toronto? It doesn't look like it.
Vladdy needs to change a little bit.
Does he?
Like you're asking for 500. Like, just relax a little bit here.
I'm sure the Mets would pay
Just
it.
relax a little bit.
Yep. So tweet number 3.
Yep.
Okay.
Speaking of Miles Straw, designated for assignment by, this is from the Sportsnet stats account, by the way. Designated for assignment by Cleveland in March 2024, newest Blue Jays acquisition Miles Straw is currently slated to be the team's 7th highest paid player in 2026 with $7.4 million.
Well, 2 things. I can't believe we have Miles Straw. And 2, it tells you how little of a team we have when he's the 7th highest player on a team.
That's sad.
And he's on a minor league.
That's sad.
He's a minor leaguer now.
Yeah, they put him in they put him in Double A.
I will say last year, he was 1 for 4 in his major league career. Or maybe it was 2 for 4. No, I think he's 1 for 4. So it's, it's 250. That's right there.
He used to play with George Springer
Yep.
in the Astros.
I think that was more about getting the international pool money
Yeah.
than it was about getting Miles,
it's not a smart
Miles
move.
Straw.
It's not
But
a
maybe
smart move.
maybe he turns into an all-star outfielder.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like, the best move we've made this offseason is Jeff Hoffman, and he's got an injury problem, apparently.
Yeah, but that doesn't address the fact that we can't score runs.
Yeah. Well, no, Jimenez. It's probably Jimenez.
We have nothing. We don't know what we have in Jimenez.
We don't know what we have in Jimenez.
Anyway, I totally agree with that one.
Yeah.
That now Miles Straw, who Cleveland is pretty much threw to the curb, is the 7th highest player on our roster.
Yeah.
Okay. So number 4.
Yeah. This one's from Ben Nicholson Smith.
And what does BNS have to say?
Blue Jays fans deserve better than this. So many exhausting near misses, and the resulting team just isn't good enough.
Someone in the Jays PR department probably has to stop putting out messages that we're in on everything.
Probably.
When obviously we're not really,
Yeah.
right? Maybe they just say we made an offer.
Yeah.
But always comes out that it's down to the Blue Jays and it's down to the Blue Jays and
yeah.
It's down to the Blue, and they always go to the and.
Yeah.
Never go to the Blue Jays. So just let people know that you've spoken to the player.
Yeah.
You've made an offer, and leave it at that.
I agree.
Don't say it's down to us and them, because it's always them.
Yeah.
Never the bride, always the bridesmaid.
It's true.
But that's the right one. It is getting exhausting. Like, it's getting silly.
And I find it kind of funny that a Sportsnet reporter says that, given they work for Rogers and,
No, I'm not on social media, but I'm sure that Dodgers fans must be trolling Blue Jays fans heavily.
Not
another
that I've
one.
seen. Not that I've seen. Even Jeff Passan tweeted, "I'm sorry, Toronto," after the Sasaki news came out. Like, people are,
It's cute that the Blue Jays think they're in the same league as the Dodgers when it comes to this. But
it is cute. Yeah, they're 0 for 2 against the Dodgers.
I
With big
guess that's
signings in
why
the last 2 years.
Ross says we're just so happy to be part of the process.
Yeah.
Wow. Number 5?
Number 5.
You know why I said 8? Because 8 is the button I got to hit.
The final one.
Number 5, 8.
The final one. Honestly, did we really think Sasaki was signing with the Blue Jays?
Nope.
Hey, at least we got another guy, Miles Straw, to OPS under 600.
Bang! I saw that one and said, right on. He's right where we want him. He's probably a defensive-minded outfielder that can't hit.
Probably.
Come on and play with the Blue Jays, because that is our team philosophy.
Yeah.
We're not going to allow a lot of runs, but we're also not going to score a lot of runs. So
Yeah.
we're going to have a sub-500 season year after year after year. We're going to fight with our superstar
This
over
is
money.
a shame, man. Like, this team is just falling down.
And here we go. I'm holding out hope that they're like the White Sox of last year.
Why, did they fire somebody?
They just... No, sorry, not the White Sox. The Tigers, sorry.
Oh, the
White Sox.
Tigers. I thought you
Not
said the White Sox. I was
We don't want to be the White
that
Sox.
was rough.
The Tigers, I meant to
Over
say.
100 losses.
Tigers came out of nowhere, and they were the favorite throughout the playoffs till they got bounced. Maybe the Blue Jays can have some miraculous season. Because if everybody played well, they might have a shot at something.
Yeah, I mean,
But can they play well?
No.
When it matters.
no.
They haven't proven that they can. And like I said, month away from spring training, and this roster is worse than it was when they finished the
But
season.
defensively, I mean, no one's stopping us.
Either there's going to be a lot of happening in the next 4 weeks, or this is our team.
Yeah.
We don't have a third baseman.
Well, if The other day, someone was saying that if the Blue Jays somehow get, because Pete Alonso's still available, if the Blue Jays get him, he goes to first, and then they would move Vladdy to third.
Yeah.
That's what they would do.
I don't know if Pete Alonso's the piece we need.
Yeah. I mean, he can hit, though.
He hits a lot of home runs,
Yeah.
but that's all he hits.
But it's kind of what we need, isn't it? I mean, that's what it's about.
We do
Power.
need a home run hitter. We do need some more power. I'll give you that. There's no doubt about that.
And Sondheim there can do that, too, but...
Yeah, until they get to Toronto, and all of a sudden they forget how to play.
Yeah.
And then they'll end up being designated for assignment. And
Then that's it.
anyhow, there is an upside to all this.
Paul DeYoung.
There is an upside to all this.
What is it?
The worse it gets, I think the faster we'll be free of the Shapiro Atkins era.
I hope so.
I hope so too.
I mean, I feel like just missing out on all these big free agents is a fireable offense anyway. Like, I feel like there's something needs to be done now, but they're not going to do anything now, obviously, because they don't listen to the fans. But
Well, let's hope they do something, because the team's going to be awfully boring to watch
it's going to be very boring to
unless
watch.
they start
And I
getting
mean,
some names.
The negotiations, Vladdy said he's not negotiating when spring training starts, which it starts in like February 18th or something. So, I mean, you got less than a month to figure that out with him. And if you don't sign him, and I think Jeff Pass was saying he's probably getting traded at the deadline. So
I think Vladdy will be starting his last season in Toronto this year.
probably.
Because if you really wanted him, you'd have locked him up long ago.
And probably Bo, too, because Bo's a free agent.
Well, I don't know. The Bo and Vladdy era just didn't pan out. Maybe you need to shed it and start anew.
Happy to call Anthopoulos out for everything he did, but we'll take Vladdy. Thank you very much.
Yep. Okay, so that's it for the tweets.
Yep,
And this was not a report weekend for Wayne, although you were down a couple, weren't you?
I were.
But this was a birthday week.
I was.
You were. Anything else you want to talk about?
No.
No? So we'll just start the outro.
Yeah.
Snap. Rhythm as a dancer.
Yeah. So thank you for listening and watching this episode of 10 Minutes with Andrew. Find us on YouTube. Be sure to like and subscribe and comment. We'll be back next week with another episode.
All right. We'll see you next week.
See you next week.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, be sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons and turn on notifications to be notified when we upload new content. You can also connect with us at andrewchansey.com.